got to add that to the stream. Hi, everybody.
Hey,
we're a little late on the visuals there. Good to see you.
But we made it happen.
Good
morning.
See you,
Good
zero
morning.
viewers.
You guys are gonna tune in and see us soon.
We ain't no ninny muggins.
Post Roll Podcast.
In the house.
You're rocking with Jules Nuclear and C Motown.
Here we go. Here we go. Are you ready?
Hey yo.
And we're live.
Man, play it.
Oh,
Let's go.
The music's on. We got one set of eyes on us. I'm sure it's Ian.
Oh. The hater
Hi,
eyes.
Ian.
Hi, hater eyes. Hater eyes, real eyes, hater eyes. Okay. All right.
They look at us how you made it. That's
what it is. Hey yo, shout out to Humble Warrior, baby.
Yeah.
Clank. Slick moves, my feet, drop your feet. The whole posse can take it down.
That's right, John. Ian says he's here. He says
okay, tune in quick. Wow.
Ian, you missed the last one, buddy. I jumped hard on him.
I told Ian about the shit talk.
Yeah.
He came in ready.
One hater and one super fan, says Johnny.
Perfect. You guys have to duel to the death.
Yeah, man.
The technique we've been drilling all week. Winning is never I
did that on purpose. So, we rolled today. So this is a true post-roll podcast.
It's been a minute since.
But first of all, it's called Under the Bridge. Posturing under the bridge.
And you know why? That's because sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry.
My companion.
What do the hills does? It knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me windy. Lonely as I am, together we cry.
Together we cry.
We gotta hit that chorus though. Sorry guys. Sorry. And I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, that last little note was the one. All right, we got to sing it in each one.
Yeah, we just had to do it. We had to do that.
Ian says I'm still good with one arm. You mean one extra arm? If you had 3 arms, you might be able to beat me. I don't
know. Ian didn't drill the other night, so I don't know if he's really that good.
Yeah, he probably doesn't grab the top of the feet. Shout out to Charles Harriet. That's a shirt I'm wearing. Thank you for posting the foot grips on Facebook, I think it is.
Yeah, that was helpful.
Yeah, very helpful for a lot of people because Ian was having a hard time remembering the fundamentals of jiu-jitsu all the way around. That was one of the things I noticed he wasn't doing, was grabbing the ankles. He kept grabbing the ankles instead of the feet. And,
we have to get Ian on the show one day so they can counterbalance banter.
Yeah. So he was definitely not posturing and definitely not grabbing my posture control, definitely not underhooking, and definitely not grabbing the feet. So just adding one thing that he can do like for real would be helpful.
Thank you, Charles Harriet.
Thank you, Charles Harriet. You're gonna make it up. At least it'll be more fun to roll with him for me anyway.
I also want to give a shout out to this clothing company called Art of Man. You guys go look them up on Instagram. They have these cool shirts. Chestnut Checkers really is like the logo that they use. And on the back, they have a pawn that's turning into a king. Can I do that real quick?
Do it. Yeah, do it. Show it. It's really wicked. Bam!
Can they see that?
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. Okay. There's like a pawn. Yeah.
Yeah, pawn turning into a king.
That's it. Super dope. You were a pawn turning into a king. Everybody's a pawn turning into a king in jiu-jitsu.
I mean, we all start off at white belt, and we all start off as babies in life. So
let's talk about that. Today, our roll. So I kept doing this. I was playing pretty well. The movement was good. I
was starting off in side control because I'm working on pin escapes. So
yeah, and I was trying to give you some good looks there, but I was trying to move around a little more. So I didn't get stuck on you.
Right.
So I wasn't like bearing down. Till the very end, I showed you some good cross facing and tried to help. Yeah, and the more I cross faced you, the more I noticed I shut down that extra side you had for movement, and man, that really changed the game.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh, you started having to like. I noticed your problem solving slowed way down. Yeah. Like you weren't just you were like, oh wait, yep.
I was like, oh, I've got to deal with the crossface first, and then I can get underneath you and then elevate you.
But that was that was a total shift that I could feel, and then but that was later. So in the beginning, I was a little more mobile, so you were able to like get in on me and move, and you were doing.
I was working mostly half guard.
Yeah.
Like if you pass, I'm like, all right, let me get the half guard and keep my frames up.
But what really I think was awesome was when you kept snatching my posture right as I would duck in. And this is something that and maybe you do this too in jiu-jitsu. I learned early on. I learned a low. Kind of a lower posture passing style through smash passing and double unders and stuff like that. And I had a lot of success with double unders early in my blue belt career. So I have this habit of ducking my head in while I'm passing when I don't need to. And so you were like, you just were, I was everything was where it should have been until the second my head would dip a little past my shoulder, just a little below my shoulders, you were automatically on the crown of my head. And that was a wrap.
Right.
And then boom, you're on my back. And it was like every time I left that tiny little window, you found it right away. Yeah. And so there's two things going on there. There's me getting away with that somewhere in my roles where I just don't realize I'm dipping my head a little too low for a split second. And you always being aware of the structure of the other guy,
right,
and finding the hole.
I don't know which episode it was, but it was one of our early episodes back when we were on Duran, and I remember us saying "control the head" or "F you."
Yeah, man. And well, you said it to me in a role before we started the podcasts.
That's
because because it was like it was our first, because we were like, oh, it was a legit post roll thing where we're rolling, and then you were like, I had you in an armbar, and you like pushed the head off.
Oh, from close guard.
Yeah, from somewhere, and then you pushed my arm off, and you popped your head up, and you got out of it, and you go, "Control my head or F you," And I'm like, "Oh man, that's a great logo. That's a great like slogan."
Yeah.
So we were talking about that a lot, but we sort of stopped talking about it.
I mean, I still think about that when I'm rolling with someone. I'm like, "Yo, you don't have my head, bro. I'm out."
From anywhere though,
from anywhere,
not just from arm bars. Yeah,
from half guard passing, any kind of passing. If your head's too low and they're not controlling it in any fashion, I'm out.
I've repeated that to armbar. I mean, to white belts and stuff before.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I've told them that, like, hey, control my
control
like yeah, because I'll say it as I'm coming up or as I'm whatever,
just like whisper in their ear as you're passing, like
but that being said, I only gave you that little dip of like structure change for a split second, and bam, you changed the whole game. The whole game changed right in that one little moment.
I'm on my back or on my side, and you're passing, and then all of a sudden now I'm on
all of a sudden you're
front headlock, passing, going back, and
now I'm defending.
Yeah,
that was incredible. That just seeing how that one little mistake with you watching and doing what you're supposed to do led to now
you're in a defensive cycle.
I'm in a defensive cycle, and you're in an
offensive cycle. Because I was in a defensive cycle, like fending you off, and all of a sudden,
and I was feeling all full of myself. I was like, "Damn, I'm passing his guard," and I even passed your guard.
Yeah,
and a couple times I passed your guard, but once you got that back to the half guard, then I got frustrated, dipped my head, bam, you're on my back. Man, that was good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sweet jiu-jitsu.
It's a fun game. I'm working like purposefully. I'm trying to work out of pins, belly down, get to turtle, use turtle to either get back to my open guard or use it to like sit out or something. But if I can get back to open guard, I can get that wrestling up thing. While I'm snapping wrestling up is something I'm working, because I'm noticing at the highest level, everybody's wrestling up.
Yeah.
And you should just mix wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
What were you doing before?
I think I was just trying to sweep people.
Oh yeah.
And in nogi, sweeping in nogi is a lot harder unless you have a sumigeshi. Like unless you sumigeshi, some form
girlfriend from Asia. Is that a sumigeshi?
No, her name is Yoko Sumigeshi. Okay, not Yoko Ono. Yoko Sumigeshi.
What's a sumigeshi? Not everybody knows. Okay, I say that as if I know, but we should say that for the viewers.
Okay, a sumigeshi is when you're just controlling an arm and you have a butterfly hook and you just elevate and sweep.
Oh yeah, I met her.
That's a bad broad. She's girl. A baddie. Let that one go.
Yeah.
You head over heels for her, weren't you?
I was head over heels.
Yeah, you were head over heels, literally.
Sumigeshi.
Woo! That's Sumigeshi, girl.
She had me on my back.
She had you on your back.
Hot second.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then she passed your guard. That's good. She mounted you?
No, we went guard.
Oh.
I stayed in her
You
guard.
said it. No, you're on the bottom now. You got flipped.
Yeah, she mounted me.
Okay. I'm like, Amazon position? Let me stop.
Yeah.
For those viewers out there, you don't know what I'm talking
Gi
about.
or no gi? Yeah. Gi.
Gi.
Yeah.
In the wintertime. Okay, when it's cold.
Yeah.
But
yeah, sumigashi.
Yeah.
So a lot of those terms I don't really know, like the Korean term. Are they Korean?
The Japanese terms.
They're Japanese
Yeah,
terms.
like senkaku, which is triangle.
Senkaku's triangle.
Yeah, senkaku's a triangle.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because you got all that senkaku up in the middle there.
Yeah, it's just kaku.
Senkaku.
Yeah, doesn't it feel like a senkaku? Whenever I lock it up, I just hear it like goes
Senkaku.
It goes kaku. Yeah, exactly.
If you got it.
If you got it. Mm-hmm. And usually when I'm like choking and finishing, I hear them go like
yeah.
they're choking.
Oh, for sure.
It sounds like senkaku.
I've noticed lately I'm getting more triangles because I'm waiting longer.
Interesting.
I used to get it and like be frustrated trying to get it, but then I'm like, hey, wait a minute, it's on. And then I like.
You mean when you lock it in, you're waiting, you're like more patient about the adjustments?
Yeah, I also trick people with submissions. Do you ever do this where you don't quite have it, but you think, okay, if I can flex and make it seem like it's getting tighter every second, then they'll tap knowing that it's feeling like it's inevitable, but actually I'm not fully on. Have you had that happen? Do you do that?
I do that from the armbar all the time. In fact, today I was doing that with you.
Yeah.
I was pulling, but I wasn't actually finishing the move. So I made you feel like, dang, if I let go of my arm at all, he's going to take this. So it commits you to your grip some more.
Okay. Yeah. Well, mine is more like for chokes, where it's like where I've got it, and then I'm like tight, making sure it's getting tighter every half a second. It just keeps getting tighter, but I'm not quite mechanically there, and I need to move to get mechanically there. But if I just go tighter, a lot of times people are like, okay, that's inevitable.
Interesting.
They think it's headed toward the choke, but it actually, there's going to be an end point to this. I'm like just going.
Interesting. People tapping before they actually feel
a little bit. Yeah.
I feel like chokes more than like joint locks are the things people can fight out of more. Because joint locks, you're like, man, that's just gonna break. A choke, it's like, what's the worst that can happen?
I'm either unconscious.
I'm unconscious. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like, I think people fight out of chokes more. So that's surprising that happens. I can see that more with the joint lock, where it's like I've finished arm bars without them even being extended. Because people are like, they know that if they let go of their hands, it's gonna break or something, or they're assuming that I don't have the level of control to like stop it, and they just tap.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is like, that it's they assume it's headed that way, and it's almost there,
right?
When in fact, I've had situations where it just wasn't,
and maybe
cheating it.
Sometimes I'm like, this, you should be fighting out of this. I don't know why are you tapping here? Sometimes I'm like, why are you tapping? I'll let go, then I'd be like, why'd you tap? Like let's examine that. You know, do you need more of this mate tea? Because that shit.
Oh yeah. Are you almost done with it?
I'm done. It's bussin'.
Okay.
Collin's tea is bussin'. Also, by the way, guys, if you haven't had a Collin Molten breakfast, it's a gourmet 5-star breakfast, and he can easily charge like $29 for what we ate this morning. It was bison.
We had bison steak.
Yeah, so good.
And it was
some rice.
Wild rice and soft boiled eggs.
Yeah. None of that tame rice shit. We had wild
and then
rice. 2
aged Gouda cubes each.
How old were they? Were they of age?
I set them in the yard for a few days. No, they're like 18-month Gouda.
18. At least 18.
Okay.
I'm
trying to post. The reason I'm distracted, I look distracted. I'm trying to post up this this live stream we got going.
He's like scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to share it to a group. Do you know the group I'm trying to share it to?
SAV, GJJ SAV,
GJJ SAV. Yeah.
Okay.
If I can find it. There it is.
That's pretty cool.
Boom. Okay, there it is. All right, now you guys can find it on GJJ SAV. So here's what I was going to ask you. We did the Take Me to Church song last time.
Yeah.
And that's, I got turned on to that song again, by the movie Dancer.
Oh,
have you ever seen that documentary?
No.
It's about this dude. I can't remember. It's a Russian name, so there's no point in even saying it because nobody's gonna remember it. But it's like, Sergei Gabuflov or whatever.
You know, you like saying names like that.
Sergei Gabuflov.
Yeah.
I just can't remember it. But he was this. Here's the deal. Like many very amazing people, he was forged in, tragedy. So he was he just happened to be a person who really, really loved his family and only wanted his family together. I think in Eastern Bloc countries, you have this like insular family world, and you just really covet it, you want it, and you want to keep it, and you love it because that's all you have, really. That's
that almost
stable,
seems
right?
like most of the world that's outside of Western culture.
You think it should be, yeah.
Like Africans are like that too. Like,
okay,
like Latin Americans are like that. They stay in the home until like they're getting married. Like African culture, like you stay with your family until you go get married.
So this guy loved his family, wanted to keep it together. Well, his parents wanted him to be a great dancer, and so they put him in in these dance schools and in this, you know, real high level stuff that cost them a lot of money. So his father had to go to another country to work. And had broke up his family, and then they stuck him in these boarding school type dance schools, and he was away from his family his whole youth. He grew up away from his family, which is all he ever wanted was his family.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing that like that was his reality, and he was sad the entire time. So he became a kind of not drug addict, but like just wild man. But he was the best dancer they ever had.
Kind of like,
and he ended up in the London, you know, whatever, or Russian ballet or whatever. He's super famous. I can't remember the details, but very famous dancer at the highest level in the world, and he's the best in his class, like the best.
Was that song in the movie?
So listen, so here's the deal. He breaks at some point. He just breaks. He can't do it anymore. And then he just can't take it. And so he retires, quits, because he can't take the you know, they're judging him. They're making him, you know, everybody thinks he's like, you know, too much of a bad boy and all this other stuff. He's getting tattoos and he's like drinking a lot and, you know, and doing whatever, but he's still the best dancer there ever was. Like, you know, but also he's doing their dances. He wanted to do his own stuff. He wanted to be creative, but nobody hears that when you're you know, in a ballet. They're telling you, the choreographers are telling you what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
You're not expressing yourself.
Whatever company you're a part of or a dance group.
Yeah, you're not
this
like
is what we're doing.
Like an American musician would be just creating their own stuff, and like that's not how the culture is in that world that he was in. So he snapped, and I believe he quits. And but anyway, at the end of the whole thing, spoiler alert, you should watch the documentary. It's amazing. But he comes back for one last dance, and it's his dance that he created, expressing the trajectory of his life and the pain of it and the joy of it and all that, to the song "Take Me to Church." And he found a little church in the woods and rebuilt the whole church and put it and lit it, and had his friends help him, and they filmed it, and he did his dance to "Take Me to Church."
Wow.
And it's this tragic, like modern looking ballet style of like, you know, just like it's a lot of flopping around and then like falling, and then beautiful dancing and then vibrant feral movements and huge strong stuff and like wavering pain.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, dude, I cried. I cry every time I watch it. I mean it. It's insane.
Want to make Collin cry,
dude?
Just put this in the background.
Yeah.
Wherever he's at. I want to see if this is on YouTube. Then maybe I can like watch this. I can watch the documentary too. But
yeah, it is on YouTube.
But I could just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, and you should.
And be like, yo.
And you should. You can just put "Dancer, Take Me to Church," and it'll come up.
All right, you guys hear that here?
Yeah.
"Dancer, Take Me to Church."
Yeah, but we can't put it on here because it's a stream. We're live streaming it,
of course.
So we can't do a YouTube video. But yeah.
All right, I got it. Sergey Polunin.
Okay, yeah. Well, that was That's not that hard.
Yeah, you over here like the hell.
So listen, before you don't watch that. Right
I'm not gonna watch that. I'm just looking at it. It's 29 million views.
So the reason that I wanted to tell you about that is because a lot of times this happens where people are really, really good at something, and then there's this tragedy that drives them or that drove them. And I think with Gordon being the best at jiu-jitsu, something's there. There's this like weird angst to him. There's an angst in him.
Do you think there's some tragedy that happened in his life?
I don't know, man. I mean, it doesn't really look. Yeah, I mean, he likes his dad, and then all that, but like he was just immersed.
He likes him. He doesn't love him. He likes that man.
He loved his dad. Yeah, but he was connected to him.
Yeah.
But there's some sort of tragedy there that makes him that edgy. You know, there's some edge to him, like some discomfort, some angst that's like messing with him constantly. And it's also then now physical. It's manifested, I don't think it's a reason, but he has this digestive issue and all this other stuff. But I think he's a good example of somebody's, you know, he's not like just floating around going, yep, I'm just the best in the world and everything's great. You know, he isn't like that. But I don't think anybody really is secretly. I think, or not secretly necessarily.
You think there's always some tragedy or some kind of trauma,
some engine. There's an engine.
The talent and the genius and the beauty of someone, who, especially in the public side, and that
there's an engine that drives the elite. whatever that is, somebody who's really, really focused and good at something. There's this engine, and the engine could be, it very rarely is positivity and love and happiness. Mostly it's usually pain and anguish and tragedy.
And you know what?
Processing that.
Just for the sake of trying to understand this, I think that it could be also study, studying history and seeing like where you'll become. Because, he lived in New Jersey and he also went to New York. He saw a lot of like homeless people and a lot of people who didn't have. Gordon. He saw a lot of people who didn't have, and I'm sure he was like, I never want to be like that.
Right. I heard somebody,
and
which I think people say this. I heard somebody saying this the other day. Usually they mean Joe Rogan. so Rogan said the other day, he was talking to somebody, and he said, it seems like he was talking about the same thing, that it seems like the weirdest or the best people that he knows are somehow come from some sort of pain and messed up, they're messed up or whatever. But here's what I think our perception of trauma is as legitimate as trauma. So like, or trauma is trauma no matter how, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To you, like shoot, maybe you pinched me and I'm like, that's nothing. But you pinch somebody else, like, oh my God.
Maybe I chewed my nails as a kid and I had like chronic hangnails and they were painful and they got infected, and that happened to me all through my junior high years, and everybody used to call me hangnail boy, and that's not what happened.
Yeah,
but let's say that was
something small like that, and that's not something you're talking about in your memoir, right? That no one knows that you went through. Yeah,
but that was probably so formative.
Yeah,
that it like twisted something in you and made you feel tragedy in a way that informed how you engage with the things you do.
I agree with 100%.
Perceived trauma.
Yeah, I imagine there's so many things like that with so many people around that they don't ever talk about it. Like they wouldn't mention it, or maybe they even forgot about it or they disassociated from it. And it's no longer even a part of their running memory.
Meanwhile, there's people that drink up trauma.
Oh yeah,
and
drink up,
spit
drug
it out,
up,
and
whatever.
Spit it out over their shoulder, and they're like, whatever, and they move forward, and then they never reference it again. To them, it's not even trauma.
Right, it's not trauma. It's something that they dealt with. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, the guy next door gets a hangnail and is messed up for years. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm dead serious.
No, you're right. It's perception. It's how you perceive it. Yeah,
but there's no failure in either one. It's just how your mind is set up, how your life is set up, and what you key in on.
Right. Changing your way of thinking about anything can like help the way you process it.
We were talking about one of our guys that we train with as a cop. That guy's been through hell and back many times in ways that we don't know, but like just the fear in the moment and the fact that you're possibly your life's on the line in that second or whatever. And meanwhile, he may not even be able to reference those moments. Like if we ask, like, hey, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? He may be like, oh, I don't know. But like because to him, it really wasn't trauma. It's just kind of what he's doing.
It's just a part of what he does.
But if it happened to one of us, it'd be like a story we're telling at every barbecue for the rest of our lives.
Right? Somebody pulled a gun on me
one time,
and they were going to shoot me.
You're not going to believe this.
Hit me in the Kevlar vest and I fell back. I thought I got hit.
Broken rib.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's like, oh, you know what? That happened to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got shot in the vest and broke a rib and I had to go to work the next day.
No. And then like an hour later, wait a second, I did get shot once.
Actually, I got shot a lot of times.
Oh, yeah, it's twice, actually. Yeah, you count the one
time. You know what? I'm 3, 4, 5. I like doing this.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's not even. Oh, that's right. That was a bullet wound.
That reminds me of a funny lie I used to tell people when I was a kid. I used to say I got shot in the knee.
Did you really?
Yeah, I used to say I got shot in the knee all the time.
All lie, huh?
Just like little dumb lies, just to make
Why do we do that?
Make myself seem a certain way, and people be like, "Wow,
why?"
Validation, excitement to create this like fantasy around me, like, wow, you got shot in the knee. Ooh. Maybe also like as a defense mechanism, like, yo, don't mess with me. I got shot in the knee and I ate that. You know what I mean?
That.
I eat bullets. Like,
so do you think that was a defense? Yeah, like you said, makes you stronger so that people mess with you.
Right, a part of that. And then also, wanting to look cool, seem cool. For a whole year, my name was Dragon. I told everybody, like, I moved to a new neighborhood and I said up to everybody, my name is Dragon.
You did not.
I swear to God.
You went all the way to Dragon?
Yeah, my name was Dragon for a year. And
then, you never told me this.
I never. It was when I first.
Awesome,
bro. I can't even remember how old I was.
You chose Dragon. That's like way past a different name.
I think it was because of Jake Long, American Dragon, or because of that Jackie Chan animated series. I don't know if you ever watched that.
No.
But they used to have these coins with dragons on it. I just thought dragons were cool, and so I was like, my name was Dragon. I was like, I'm Dragon. Like, what's up?
My mother named me Dragon.
And everybody was like, your name's not Dragon. I was like, it is Dragon. And everyone just started calling me Dragon. And then one day, a couple of my friends were at my house, and my sister calls me Jimmy.
And you're like, who's that?
And I was like, I'm over here What? No, they're like, Jimmy, who's that? And like, I swear for the longest time, I was avoiding, I planned how people came to my house and if they could engage with my family or not.
Really?
And like, it's just, I didn't have people come over my house for the longest time. And then they came over and they were like, Jimmy. And she's like, yeah, his name's Jimmy. What are y'all calling him? That's Dragon. And I'm like, yeah, my name's Dragon. She's like, no, it's not. He's fucking lying to you guys.
So you got busted.
Leave it
to the family.
I got busted, and I was like known to be like the guy who just like joke like that, and I got that reputation for a long time.
Yeah,
actually,
I'm gonna call it a joke as much as it is a lie. But that's what kids do. They create this identity.
But to this day, my friend Kim, his sisters
call you Dragon.
Still call me Dragon. Like I saw them like 2 years ago. I went back to Maryland, and they're like Dragon.
I'm gonna start calling you Dragon, dude. That is good. That's good. You should have. That should be your fight name.
Dragon.
Jimmy Dragon Green.
Dragon Green.
Yeah, because you'd be Dragon too. You know.
I could be the Dragon.
Because you'd be Dragon.
I drag on.
Dragon as well.
Pap drag.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So that being said,
we got time.
Okay, we got a couple more minutes.
We got like 10 minutes.
All right. Good. Yeah, we're gonna go long into the shorty. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I have a meeting with a social marketing guy in like an hour, and well, no, I mean to learn what I need to do next. He put together a little proposal like, hey, you need to get your stuff together here, which I do. But it's really strange to me that I haven't embraced it. I think we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, we're talking about like fear of failure.
And as a result, I'm behind the curve. Now, with you just naturally engage with social media. But where's it like? What's going on now? Because like Instagram was a thing, and then like I was doing that Tommy Timothy stuff. But I think did it wane? Is it now just TikTok mostly, or what?
No? Instagram's still popping.
It's still the thing.
It's still the thing. TikTok's not even the thing like that anymore.
Good. I hated TikTok.
Instagram has the same thing TikTok's has. It has reels, but they call them reels. So TikToks are these like short video clips.
Yeah.
And people can take the audios and use their audios and share it and do mashups and stuff. Instagram just put that on their platform. So,
like,
so it's like,
see a TikTok.
Yeah.
So what about Facebook? That's done, right? That's just a thing.
Anybody can use any mechanic from any of these social medias. Like Facebook's had the stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Then Instagram has stories. So it's like now I can use Instagram and stories. So I don't need Facebook as much. Oh, TikTok has these little clips where you can mash videos up. Instagram's like, okay, I'm going to do that too.
What about YouTube? That's just kind of like a second thing.
No matter what. YouTube's like a whole nother thing. Like,
you got to be on YouTube if you got those other things.
You might as well, because you can get monetized. You can get paid off YouTube, actually.
Not on Instagram?
Not on Instagram. Well, I don't really know if you can get paid per view or post. Not sure about monetization there, but I know YouTube can monetize your per view and like subscriber base and all that stuff.
Yeah, I get checks for the just secondary. I'm like third person. So like I get checks from the company that gets checks for my comedy special, Dry Bar.
That's legit.
Well, I mean, it's not great because I'm getting cut probably a small percentage of what they're getting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and they're getting from my Dry Bar special.
Yeah,
it has millions of views.
That's like Spotify. Spotify takes a lot of your
Spotify,
of your plays.
But that's different because those are spins and they're like fractions of a penny.
Yeah,
per spin.
But Spotify takes money off of it, and maybe you do it through DistroKid, or you do it through some distribution website.
Sound Exchange.
Well,
that's who runs it mostly. Yeah, for them. Yeah, for them and
Podbean.
No, I was gonna say for them and Pandora and XM Sirius Radio. That's mostly Sound Exchange.
DistroKid is also a good platform to use. Yeah, if you've never used that, it's mostly like musicians use that.
So I'm gonna work on that stuff, and I feel like you and I should be doing this on this, like on the podcast. Where would you guys want to just comment in the comments? Where would you want to see us do this more? You know,
that's YouTube or where we're doing it now, or like I see a lot of people on YouTube Live. Like
so that's what I did here. It's on YouTube Live. It's on the post. So if you're watching this, go to the Post Roll Podcast YouTube page, because that's what we're doing now. Post Roll Podcast YouTube page, and I'm on that live. I'm looking for it right now. Where am I? There I am. Okay, there it is on StreamYard. Okay, cool. So I have all of them at once. So I'm posting in a bunch of different places. Tim Carroll, Jimmy's new rash guard.
What do you say?
Jimmy's new rash guard. He's got a click. He's got a link for us to click.
Oh,
it's probably a virus. Ian says underneath my boot. I don't know what that was from.
I'm not trusting that link.
Yeah, I don't trust that at all.
Trust that shit. He got hacked. He was hacked in the process.
Yeah, Ian says he submitted to me. Oh no, he says he submitted. He says I submitted you. You mean you submitted to me? Is that what you said, Ian? Okay, I hope you're still there.
Flipping words. How many viewers we got right now?
5 are watching.
Oh man.
And listen, this is another shorty. We're gonna start them off like we did with a different song. Every time? We can't commit to this.
Every time we can.
Well, we got to try Take Me to Church again at some point and try to finish it because we only did like one verse of that. So another time we got.
Yeah, we didn't finish Under the Bridge either.
No, because we got stuck.
And that's the shortest song.
My love's got humor.
She's a giggle.
Knows everybody's disapproval.
I should have
worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece.
Every morning getting more bleak. Fresh poison each week.
We were born sick. You heard them say it. My church offers no absolutes.
Worship in the bedroom. Every morning I've been missing you when I'm alone with you. We were born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man.
Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your life.
Wow,
that's where my sins you can sharpen your knife. Good God, let me give you my life, wife.
Ooh. Dang.
What? Who knew I could do that?
Who knew he had Monica skills?
Dang.
That boy got the Monica skills.
I blow a harp, son.
Dang, harmonica.
That's for you, Ian.
That is
all right,
crazy.
We got to rock your ass out of here. Is there anything else we need to cover for jiu-jitsu reasons?
Oh man, just you guys know, control the head or F you. So if somebody's not controlling your head, out. You should be out.
Out, baby.
Blasting your hips out, passing their guard, blowing past their weak guard.
And let me tell you how. Posture up.
Posture.
Because I didn't do it.
Posture.
And split second.
And use the V grip and pop that wrist off.
Oh yeah, that too.
Pop it off.
Teach me. And block the other arm in the process.
And block it. Yeah, so they don't just use the other arm to grab your head again.
Because he just slaps.
And they just keep slapping like this.
Yeah, you do that.
I'm just juggling big head here.
Because I'm not blocking the other arm. You're like, hey man, block my other arm. Hey man, block my other arm. Hey man, block my other arm. That's how you teach. You're like,
man. And then you're like, damn it.
It's just more like a jiu-jitsu roast when we roll. You ever feel like you're being roasted by the other guy? He's not even saying a word. He's just making you look like an a-hole.
Right? Like making you fumble around and off balancing you, like you just don't know where you are in space.
All right.
All right, guys.
We out.
We out, man. That was fun.
Love you, brother. Anything else we need to cover?
Hey, Art of Man, Chestnut Checkers. We gotta talk about our sponsors real quick. GGJ
SAB, best place in the world to train the best martial art under
the best man in the world, under the best dude in the world,
with the best people in the world, at the best place in the world, in the best town in the world,
in the best world in the world,
with the best dragon in the world.
Best dragon in the world. The only dragon, actually. So,
I don't know about that. There might be other dragons.
Are you a dragon?
I might be a dragon. Unleash the dragon in you. Tell the lie that resonates through the years to create a new you. Control my head or F you.
F you, dude.
Dragon. Good luck out there, Ian. I hope when your bionic arm heals, you're able to do jiu-jitsu finally.
Ian's gonna be the actual cyborg from Teen Titan. He's gonna be the actual cyborg. Just watch.
Ian be dragon. Ian be dragon, big time.
Boy, you be dragon. Gotta sage the mic. Gotta sage the mic before we leave. What? Sweat on my face, blood on my gi, laughing with tears in my eyes.
Take me to church.
Sacrifice and work hard at basics. Get it, hit it. Hey, 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 get it. Hey, hey. Get it, hey, go, hey, get it. All right, John. Hey yo, they wonder how we made it. It takes constant motivation and hours of frustration for every single revelation. Drilling hours and hours of tech, leave from master sour, just trying to figure out where you get the flowers. Better watch out for that sweet when you rolling in the deep, so you don't go to sleep quicker than rolling cheap. Put your man on the max, you better tap before you snap. You better not give up your back, or you'll be taking a nap. Killing, burn, killing the kill. If you feel the burn and you got the will to put in the work on the mat in the lab and see is that true or will you get stabbed? Everything out like your neck. Feeling the pain, no gain. Ask professor, you tell you this. Tap 1,000 times they say, live the fight another day. Slap them up before they play. Your ego just gets in the way. So if you're wondering how we made it, check out the associations. Kinda like my other wife, crazy you just live.
Look at us and wonder how we made it. Sacrifice and work hard for basics. Know that look on your face, you made it. You may look at us, wonder how we made it. Now you're looking like the golden greatest. I know that shit hurt when it's sinking in.
Deuces.
Out. Ending broadcast.